me in. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. So that should be working now, hopefully. It says I'm live. Let's refresh this. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay. So that should be working now, hopefully. It says I'm live. Right, setting this up. Can everyone hear me okay? Is the mic coming through? Cool. I've got to turn this audio off. Is the audio coming through? You're going to have to let me know about levels and things like that, but I think I had it set up pretty good. So let me know in the chat as we kind of go. There's going to be a bit of a delay on the chat. Nice. So here we are. I've got, hello everyone, welcome to my first live stream. So I haven't done this before, so I'm quite excited to see what we're going to get up to. And I'm probably notoriously quite a slow producer and quite methodical, so I'm going to try and make this as interesting as I can. And show you lots of tips and tricks in Renoise along the way is the real plan for me today. But I think a good place to start is I'll show you all the samples. So I sent 10 samples to Alex, which I'll show you quickly, and then we can go through the ones he sent me just so you can hear what we've got going on. So the first one I sent him is the classic Akai test tone sine wave, just so he can use that for his basses and his melodies and things like that. And then I gave him this lovely sample, which is kind of like Circles Adam F. It reminds me of a lot. But it has loads of lovely little things you can like chop out like just there, and I reckon you could take these little things. So I was trying to give him stuff that I thought I would like, and then I gave him this oh, let's go back to that nice little kind of arpy thing. Oh, it keeps jumping me in here. I don't know why that's happening. Let's go back here. Okay. A pad, one of my pads, my sample pack actually, and then I've got nice chord I gave him, some kind of vocal samples. I think that was from a Future Music CD1, which is a really classic sample pack. And then these are some great samples as well. And then the last thing I gave him, I think, was like a Rhodes, just so he can play that up and down. So I thought I was quite generous with what I gave him, and I hope he has good fun with them. And then we're also using a Think Break and an Amen each. And so I've got just a really standard Amen here, which is like the original. I've actually got the record, so everyone knows that. But then I've got this Think Break where if you listen to like a normal think, it's always got that like da-na. And I've kind of edited a think, so I've just got a think break without any of the vocal chops in them. So it's quite useful to have both, because sometimes it gets a bit repetitive when you have this kind of repeating vocal chop on the think, even though that's kind of classic for the sound. And then the other stuff he gave me, which is 808 bass, which is great because I think I can get a sine wave out of that as well, and maybe play some melodies with it. And then I've got a nice pad here. And then I've got, I think there's another nice pad maybe here. So I like these. I'm just thinking in my head I might try and layer these two pads together, especially because this one has all that nice high-end shimmery stuff. So that's going to be cool. I've got a kind of funky crash there. These are good. Really dope vocal there. Some dolphin noises, which we might be able to find something else and channel a bit of Artemis, whoever it is that makes that dolphin tune, and then Street Fighter sample. This is cool, this ARP sound. Hello everyone, welcome to the live stream. Just demoing the samples. He gave me this PS1 login sound, which I was like, I don't actually know what I'm going to do with it because it sounds really phasey when you pitch it up. But I might be able to use it as an effect or something. And then this is cool, this ARP as well. Which I think is going to be a really cool place to maybe start. I'm going to do the breaks, but let's just get going kind of in Renoise now. And I always start with my drum breaks, but I just have this idea because I think this is a really cool for like the main theme. I might do the pads in the intro, and this is the main theme. I'm going to try and chop this up. And this is my template that I use in Renoise, which is basically the main things here is I've got a kind of half note delay, a dotted eighth note delay, 2 reverbs and an exciter on my sends, and that's really all I kind of start with when I jump into Renoise. So let's go and just chop this up. Maybe I'll create a new one and call this ARP. And for this, I kind of need a perfect slice. It's going to be really tedious to chop the whole thing up. But I might want to do that later. So let's put in a slice marker. I've also, if I go to my live stream, yeah, I can do that later. Okay, cool. So I'm going to copy that to a new track and just copy that over. And I'm going to put slice markers at all the hits now in here. I've put a random one in there. Let's go start like this. Okay, cool. And this should mean that I can then like pitch this ARP up and down, and I can warp it to my tempo of my track. So you got to make sure you get all the hits, otherwise things get really weird. But you don't have to be super precise about it. I can't want to have that open, so I'm going to see. Here we go. There's always going to be a bit of this like sample chopping, especially when I get and do the breaks. There's a bit of a process we've got to go through, but I think if you want to get your things tight, you always have to just be a bit meticulous about like putting the work in rather than using like the automatic tools to do it. So cool. Right, and you'll see in 1 second, so I go slices, render slices to phrase, and now I can like change my BPM, and it's actually just warped that to my BPM. So if I went to like 90, that's the original speed. So I can go to 168 and put a note in and get like a nice loop happening. And maybe it wants to be like a bigger loop, doesn't it? So kind of wants to be like that. And then I might just check the key of this, just because I can, if it's going to be a weird key. And this plugin's so good. It's called Mixed in Key Studio Edition. So it's in G minor. I might just make my life really easy, even though G minor is quite nice. It's kind of in A minor, but it's got that B flat. So I could pitch it up to. And this is what's cool about doing this technique where you slice at all the points, is not only is it going to like warp to a BPM, you can also come in to modulation and go to pitch. And I could just put this pitch thing on like 2 and put it up. And now I've got A minor, which is just going to make my life easy for this session. Cool. So, or we could go. So I've gone from G 1, 2, 3, 4. I've actually put my keyboard on here so you guys can see my hands. This should come in. It would be cool for you guys to see. And then I'm going to go and what am I going to do? I'm going to try and pitch it down to E flat minor, is another one of my favourite keys to work in. So from G 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Let's try that as well. if it sounds better at A minor. Okay, let's go. Maybe let's try E flat minor. That could be really cool. So I'm pretty sure this is the right key, but my music theory is not very good, so I use this. Okay, so we like that. So that's a good little starting point. And now let's go and do some breaks. So let's just start with this Amen. And I'll bring in the think, like my edit of the think as well. Okay, cool. So breaks it in. Now with the Amen, I kind of only ever really bother with this last bit of the Amen. So put in a slice marker, and then you can command double click on the side and just have this bit. And then we're going to keep the left side. So I'm going to mono it and just take the left side. And then I might just pitch it up for this old school style. Okay, that's not right. So let's go 32. And we'll just lock in that transpose value. And then I can put in some slice markers. But what I might do is this technique where I come and resample it. So, okay, so we're going to just lock this in here. The break. And then resample that. So now I have this break resampled in the way I want it. I just got to get that. I want to take that snap off. Okay. And then now this break is like, it's been pitched up and it's been resampled. And then I can chop sample 16 slices, and then I can chop it up. And the reason I'm doing this is because I can show you on the if I hit, yeah, it should be, Beats should show me what I'm talking about. Yeah, I want the slice markers to kind of come on the beat, so I can program like my Amen fully quantized in this area, but then have all this, like have the swing, so the slice markers are being offset rather than me having to offset stuff in the main pattern editor. Okay, cool. But you're still gonna get some weird stuff happening with the kicks and the snares, so they can kind of be quantized, but the rest of the stuff can be a little bit loose. That one's probably okay. That's gotta go. 21. Let's go. Live streaming Renoise. Okay, cool. So now I should be able to program oh, okay, and let's have a look what's going on here. That's too quick, isn't it? I think there's like one space. We can kind of go, and maybe I'll do this mono mode and let the slices play through one another, and then I'm just going to start programming this kick snare. Yo, Renoise gang, welcome to the party. Okay, and then I'm just going to program with this kind of kick snare pattern. I want to make it late. This is the super nudge tool I'm using to, if anyone doesn't know, in Renoise, this tool is the best. It's called super nudge. Super nudge tool, and you can just like nudge these notes up and down. Dun, 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 dun. And then like a double kick is always cool. This is live. This is the versus thing. Is this the versus thing only? Renoise is so. Renoise is in slow mo development. That's cool. And then programmers. Maybe it wants like a double kick there. I want that snare. Okay, cool. So now I'm just gonna like build out this pattern a little bit more. It's a little bit rushed there actually at the end. This bit here. That bit. Okay, let's try that, and then I'm going to copy just this bit down again, and then I'm quite a big believer in like fleshing your drums out in the early stages. So rather than kind of jumping into doing other stuff, I usually try and at least build like 16 bars of the drums, just to give me a good starting point, really. And I can hear, sometimes you have to listen to like the whole pattern to hear where you want to go. Maybe take that off. Double snare. And then I can do what would be cool at the end here is to do like a reverbed snare hit, which I love doing these. And the best way to do this is actually just to come and go like round. And I need to mono the reverb. So if you want to get these like reverb hits to be cool, it's like a BX something control. Just monoing reverbs is like the biggest trick. I was always like, my reverbs always sound super weird with my breaks, and that's because my breaks were in mono, and then I was using like a stereo reverb, which doesn't really make sense. So if you just mono the whole thing out and then you put a big kind of reverb just on this hit like this. Oh, I just want it to be that one snare though, don't I? So what I'm going to do is actually just copy this sound to a new track and then play it. What I could do, I could like resample it, is what I really want to do the most of. Whoa, okay, like that. That's why. So I've got the reverb happening now. It's a bit too big, maybe. That's kind of cool sound. But it's like going over the loop time, so maybe I'd have to, what would be the easiest ways to do this? Could I just record this in here? Yeah, if I just go none and then I just go start and just let that ring out. Okay, cool. So now I have that like reverb hit and I can normalize it. Let's go and put a slice marker in. That's probably right there. Here's on to the Renoise Discord. Of course, mate. Thank you for sharing. Welcome, everyone. We are live. Yeah, this is just the beginning. This is the boring bit of break chopping at the start. But hopefully, once we get things going, I'm just going to try and get a nice, like, rolling groove happening. Thanks, bro. Always find your videos useful and extremely helpful. Thank you very much, mate. I love doing these videos, and I haven't done much live streaming before, but I really enjoy actually just doing the tutorials and like fleshing them out. I've got a really fun one coming. I've actually got two really good ones coming up soon. I've got one on like 90s jungle, which is kind of what I'm doing today, and then I've got a Renoise basics video doing like, if you've never used Renoise before, making a jungle tune from scratch, which is something I haven't done but I thought would be really handy. So I've got two videos. I've already recorded them. I've just got to find the time to edit them, but I'm really stoked to get some of this content out in the next kind of couple of weeks probably. So anyway, I've got this reverb snare, so I can get rid of this stuff now, and then I can just hit this reverb snare. But the reason I rendered it is because when I come back with my pattern, I want it to actually gate the snare off. So it sounded weird there though, didn't it? So maybe we have to like, let's take the left side again and see what's happening. It might just be a bit quiet. So let's kind of, I don't know if I can actually turn it up that much. Just maybe like that. Okay, there you go. Just need to be a bit louder. What's I just re-upped on a 2080 90s era in my zone, so I love these videos. Yeah, man, the 90s style is having a bit of like a kind of rejuvenation. I don't know what the word is. It's coming back into popularity a bit. There's been a few videos I've seen. People are obviously just loving these like old jungle pads and this old sound. I think it's like the new drum and bass is fun to go party to and go out to, but this style is much more pleasant to listen to in your day-to-day life. So I think that's why it resonates with people. And it's always like been quite futuristic, like forward-looking music. Even when it was like in the 90s, it sounds super futuristic. So I think it'll always be there for people. Okay, that's cool. So we got this little thing, and then I can go like maybe double kick now. And the cool thing about this snare that I have, this reverb snare, is you can start to put this in. Yeah, it's exactly that. It's like I can put in this snare instead of my other snare to create variation. So if I go back to the other one, let me go back. Just has a slightly different tone. Maybe we can do like a cool little reverb. And sometimes with this little like reverse sound, what happens when I play this sample forwards and I hit a reverse, it like plays and then reverses when it hits that sample. But if you actually trigger it on the reverse sample and then you go and put a SSX command with it, you can actually detail like where you want it to happen in this reverse. So if I go like SA, so that's doing it from there. Maybe we've got to go more. So I can really kind of like finely tune that reverse thing. So I quite like it when it goes like wow, wow. So I'm going to do that. And then do another one here. Here. That's cool. It wants to be like kind of mad jungler stuff here. Maybe another one there. Yeah, and then these just need a bit of like velocity. That's cool, isn't it? Just creating that nice bit of variation there. I want to go boom, 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 maybe. Yeah, like this. Move this one down to, and this one down. Oh yeah, I want that like da-dun, da-dun. So you get these like, there's these patterns of kick and snares that you just find. That wants to go like there. No. That wants to go like there. Yeah, that's the groove in it. So I don't know if I'll be able to like take it all. Okay, that's where it wants to go. Sometimes it's a bit hard to like see where you are in Renoise, but it's kind of part of the thing. It's part of the program, isn't it? Nice, and then something different in here. I kind of want a long kick as well, annoyingly, but I kept these samples in here. So let's go and do. Go back to my break that I'm programming. Where am I? Here we go. Let's take maybe this kick to a new track, and then I can just trigger that. Turn these things back on. That's quite mad. Maybe it wants a little bit less rumble. Okay, that's probably okay. It's a little bit quiet there coming through, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and when that's gone dead, start. stop. Okay, and make this big. Let's go long kick. I can probably get rid of that tail as well. And this bit. So the reason I want this long kick is because when I just play this normal kick drum with no another scrap on, can you see it cuts to digital silence then? It sounds a bit shit. And you can try and put like a reverse effect in. You get that whip back. So, you know, you can go forwards and backwards. And that kind of gets you there, but you can hear that like shh. So it's a bit too obvious. It's more like an effect, whereas I want this to be quite a clean way of doing it. Yo, welcome everyone new to the stream 28. We're growing. So you can see when I use this reverb kick now, I can like fill in this gap, which was cut into digital silence and sounding really shit. I can fill it in. I want to do a double. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, it's too quiet, that kick though, isn't it? It's the one thing. It wants to go... What did the snare go up by? By 4. Let's go up by 4. Maybe it wants to go up by 5, actually. Dun. Maybe that, isn't it? It wants to have that. Yeah, because that's actually this here, which is what's confusing. So that wants to be like that, and I can copy that down. Oh, that was a little like the little shuffle thing, but it had a weird glitch. You see, that sounded weird. But if I put a little cut command in, why 4 not 8? Because I find like I can see what's happening more with 4, and if you go to 8, you get a 30-second note resolution. But if I want to use a 30-second note, like I'll do one now and show you what I do. If I want to do 30-second notes, I turn on my delay column and I just copy my notes into this second column and delay them by half. But the reason that's doing is now they're like both triggering. So you can create like rolls this way. And you can even like be more precise and like, you know, turn some of these kind of around, create a cool little sound there. The reason they're sounding a bit shit as well is because they need to go down in velocity. And maybe these ones need to go like 7A, maybe 7, something like that. Yeah, that sounds a bit cooler. So you can like actually access 8 lines per beat on 4 lines per beat. So I don't really see any other advantage apart from the only other thing is like when you're doing your automation in this lane, you will get like a less refined resolution because it's like doing the step automation at 16th notes. So but I never notice it, and I can show you some more tricks we can do there anyway with your automation, where like I can quickly show you here, but maybe I'll do it in practice. But on the LFO, you can just do a custom LFO on one shot, and then you can like trigger the reset, and then every time it hits this point I can use this LFO to do my automation, rather than I never use this automation window ever in Renoise. I think it's horrific, the actual built-in automation, but these custom LFOs are exactly the same thing, but it's just easier in this view. So I do my automation kind of like that a lot as well, so I don't really have a problem working at 4 lines per beat. So the reason I did this little cut command is because it had this little where the next note's sort of cutting on the previous one. So you can use this COB is going to cut this note like just before the line. And now it sounds smooth. Like with those little effects in, it sounds kind of cool. But it sounds really shit with them in. So I use this command all the time. It's still a bit too loud maybe. I'll just come down with like all of these. Maybe the first one hits hard. That's cooler. And you can even do really mad things where you go like this and you can put this re-trigger note on and just like see what's going to happen if I go like... It's just going to add some like weird, which is maybe not quite right for this, but you can combine like all of this stuff and the re-trigger to get really cool results. Anyway, that sounded super weird there. So let's have a little go of this 16 bar pattern that we've kind of created right in the beginning. So it's a little bit not flowing perfectly, and I will have to come in and refine that. Especially this first, I felt this first like beat didn't quite like work perfectly. The ideas were good, and it's just got to really roll around, and often you have to listen to like the whole thing on repeat and keep tinkering with little. So I thought this pattern, I want to do more of that like this kick pattern actually from here. I like this thing that happens maybe up to this, maybe up to this point. So I might be able to just like copy this in. That's cool. So I just wanted to go, I'm copying from an F. If I just paste that. Bump, bump. Gonna just have to get this right. I don't want that. That's wrong. Oh, that was quite cool. Maybe for later. That's kind of cool. So we can leave that, and then I'm going to want to do actually the same to the end on this pattern below as well. Maybe just like triple snare. Okay, so I think we're grooving better now. I want to go da da da, just simple in the beginning. Sometimes you're trying to do too much. Let's go that down maybe. That was cool. Da 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 da. Maybe it did start with a. Maybe it wants to double click. Okay, let's try it from here. No, let's go back. Maybe it wants this long kick here as well. That's cool. And then I also want to go back to this pattern where I did this. This little ending can come back here. So the way I work is like my this pattern I think is always relative to this pattern in some sense. So you kind of have like your A pattern and your B pattern, and then you go back to A, and then you can kind of do like B a little bit different. So I think they're always like kind of, these two need to have some balance or some repetition between them to make the groove sound right. We're half an hour in, holy shit. I only done one break. Okay. That's actually rolling a lot nicer now with those few little edits I've done. So let's do a little bit of break processing and just make it sound a little bit more tasty. I might just leave these here in case I want to come back to these two. And I'm just going to do something really simple. I'm going to do an RX, I'm going to do a Pro Q, and I'm going to do maybe a bus compressor. Townhouse bus compressor. So let's just mute these and let's go. And interestingly with this thing, if you have it on full bandwidth, it actually adds a bit of brightness to the top end. That's going to be cool in a second. And then this is just the Amen just needs a bit of. Okay, so sounding pretty good. Bus compressor. I don't fuck around like with too many compressor settings, and that's why I love this one, because I can just dial it in so easy, like slow attack, fast release, and then like 2:1 ratio. Hey, thanks Teddy. Yeah, nice to see you guys. Nice to see QWL, Troy in the place. Holy shit! All these guys I've been chatting to are logging in. There are 31 people watching. So I've obviously added a bit of a level there. But it's sounding way nicer. Just so really simple, like saturation, bit of EQ and compression, and you can do like limiting and transient shaping and all that stuff can come later. But I think like these three together, if I do a little before and after of the difference it's making between having these processing on, it'll probably be a bit louder as well. But if I could even like look at a level, I bet I haven't gone very much up very much in my peak value, but I've like got a bit of saturation and it's just sounding a bit cleaner. So you've got to do a bit of processing to your Amen. But I don't really bother like coming in and pulling out transients and that kind of shit too much. So we've got an Amen. I would probably do my think break now. And with the think break, I'm going to do a slightly different actual technique. So let's go in here and let's mono this shit out to maybe the left side. Normalize, and I've got to put my slice markers in again. All the transients are going to come in. And let's get this. I think there's something in there as well. I can see there might even be 2 hits in there, but we're going to just do it as one. Yeah, that's a hit. That's a hit, and we can get rid of this. Yeah, we're rolling. We're nearly there. Once I get the kind of the pads and stuff in, it's just always a bit like Renoise is not maybe the quickest to get through all this kind of stage of break chopping. But anyway, so in the last one, I actually pitched up my Amen and then resampled it. And in this one, I'm going to do slightly different with this technique where I can go render slices to phrase. So now I've got the Amen, actually rolling at my tempo. I can even just probably nick this actual processing. I think like Command T does it, or Command Shift T is going to delete that. Cool. And then I can. So now, yeah, let's get rid of that. I've missed out. See, if you miss out a slice, it goes super weird with this technique. So you got to make sure you get all the slices in. Yeah, the RX 950 is such a good plugin. I really rate it. It's so cheap as well, and it's just got everything you need. And like when you pull down the bandwidth on this RX 950, you notice it like pulls a filter down with the sample rate reduction. So when you go and do like lo-fi or use a plugin like this in Renoise and you pull down the sample rate, you get all that like glitchy kind of stuff coming through, which is like the aliasing noise. But actually, like what sounds nice on the old school samplers is like it's actually filtered that noise. It's not just playing like when you reduce a sample rate like that. I think it goes through filters if I understand the technology side of it enough. The science of it. So you got to you can either use a filter alongside of it, but these plugins, I think they have a filter built in. Anyway, it's a great plugin. So, so I've got this kind of rolling. But what's cool about this technique now is I can come and I can start playing with the ADSR, so I can make it really snappy. And I can also pitch it around. So maybe if I put this on like 2. Maybe just 1 semitone up sounds pretty cool. And then I'm going to resample it again. And then I'll have to get rid of all this processing. Now I've got it with the processing on. And I can take that out, chop it away, and we're in. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of all of this stuff on this channel then. And it's just a bit quiet now. Were they using emphasis, de-emphasis filters on the samplers? Does anyone know? Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I think it's in the anti-aliasing filters. Like I know when you use a plugin like Decimort, which is like trying to emulate that process even more, you have these 2 filters which are like in the resampler process. So I've tried to read up on it, but I've never quite like got to the bottom of it. But I know they're using. I mean, you can hear they're using filters. I just don't know at what stage in the process they are. So there's definitely something going on there. So I can actually probably. I just wanted to turn that up in level actually, rather than normalize maybe. So I'm not playing my one. That's why. Okay, that's clipping. So that's just cool. So I've got. The ARP's not bad actually. Everything's going to start clipping as well. So what I can do is maybe just turn down. I can turn down everything a little bit. Mix balancer. This is a good tool, and you can see you can just like turn each of the faders down. But the cool thing about Renoise is because on your send effects, if you have send effects already on, see this button here that says apply, post, mixer and pan. Basically means you can still use this thing because the send effects are getting applied after this mixer. So it's a really good tool to like get back. Oh, I fucked it up there. Let's go back. There we go. So I need to go and just pull them down maybe. Then I can turn you back up. Hey, thanks, man. I've had such a positive response of like, especially recently since I've kind of gone through the Source Direct series and this finishing track series. Loads of people have been reaching out, and I really appreciate all the comments and everything. It really motivates me to keep kind of pushing this channel, and it's like, yeah, it's my dream to kind of do this full time. So that's what I'm kind of working towards at the moment, and yeah, I appreciate all your support massively. So this idea is going to come in later. Let's not just get too distracted. I've got to try and stick to the clock because I've got a finite amount of time to make this track. I've been doing a lot of talking so far. Yeah, it really is, isn't it? It sounds cooler actually with Think. If I can get the level right in this Think. Okay, let's just maybe just keep the Think super simple. I want to go, and maybe I'll do the technique where I can just go and call, I want to use this C0, so I can just use the SSX command now. I can get rid of that extra note column as well. C0. So I can access that snare also. It does need to go up a bit in level. Okay, that's the pattern. Wants another, maybe like another kick here, doesn't it? Like that. Like a kick snare. Dun, cut, dun. Oh, I like that. Okay, now we're going. And then we'll get this little, it's going to get really repetitive, that ARP. But let me just get this little thing with some variations happening in this part as well. I want to go in this pattern. So I'm playing that there. I need to find this snare here. Number 41. Okay. It's 41. So I want to do a double kick. So I'm using like all of the tools in Renoise really to like program my breaks. Sometimes I'm doing like in here I'm slicing up and doing slice markers, but actually sometimes using this SSX command is quite fun as well. Yeah, let's just hit that snare. I want to copy that properly, yeah. Oh yeah, I want it to almost go like, that's groovy. I want these reverb snares for my. Maybe I can do one here. Nice. So just throwing off like little bits suddenly stops the drums being so repetitive, and it's like all about the kick and snare relationship. I find when I'm doing my drums, you can see like I'm basically just programming kicks and snares and letting all the other shuffly stuff just kind of happen naturally. Okay, and then we need like this pattern to get hyped as well, and then like a single kick. Maybe spice this up. Move this down. That's cool. And I can do that same pattern again. Like this. Yeah, that's like a little bit of a tune happening. So I think we're gonna like start maybe the other way around. Putting some not like that, and start with this intro, or it's going to be the flip or something. So let's maybe go and try and find one of these pads for this Amen section. I've got this. I kind of like this one. And I said I was going to layer them, and I might just try and layer them like in an instrument and be really cheeky. So I know that's A minor, and this one's E minor. So E to A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. E minor goes up 5 semitones in this bit here. So now I've got them triggering together. Maybe if I just turn this down. Oh, that's not triggering. Something's happened. Why is my keyboard not working? Right, let's take that out and plug it back in. Okay, cool. So we've got them layered now. I don't really want to have this like attack either in either of the samples. If I want to use attack, I can kind of do my own in here. And one thing I love to do with my pads is like some people... you want like this overlap. So you can see with the release when I play like a new note, it has this like overlap, but I find it can sound, they kind of clash a little bit too much. So if you use this mute group for your pads, and it works really well for bass as well, then when I trigger the new note, the old one's kind of gone away. So it's actually sounding, maybe it can be louder. And then in here, I need to get rid of that thing. And let's try and get this pad going like here. And I was actually in E flat minor, which is going to be really confusing to go. But I can try and stay in the same key. So if I go from A to E flat minor, it's actually 6 semitones. So I can pitch the whole instrument up 6. And now hopefully, if I go and check on here, this should be E flat minor. Cool. So trying to keep things like kind of happening. Pro Tracker jungle movement. I've actually never used Pro Tracker, but only kind of Renoise. That's kind of cool. I love, it's simple, but if I can get this to like roll, I can add all the spicy stuff. So simple's not always bad. And I have this oh, that's a classic sound, isn't it? Let's do that. So F. Okay. Let's see if I can play this in. Thank you, mate. I appreciate the luck. First live stream. So it's cool. I need some more movement. All of this stuff is like my keyboard comes through with all this mod wheel information, which I should actually just turn off, but I can't turn it off here. I really want to be able to turn off the mod wheel information. All good, Alex, mate. Get on and do your patio. It's actually a nice day to be out there in the sun, so no need to be sat indoors watching me making a jungle tune. I'm probably going to upload this, actually, the video, so you'll be able to catch it in your own time if you want to look back on it. I've programmed this in the ThinkPad, so let's go to my pad sound. And in pads, I'm going to go... Hey bro, congrats with the first stream. Thank you. Hopefully this will become something really fun to do, like kind of maybe monthly, or if I can find some other people to go head to head with. There's a couple of really good producers, like IJO. I love his channel. I know he said he's going to be kind of giving up, but he makes great music and architecture and arcologies. There's some really good like people making this style of music out there, so I'd love to kind of collaborate with more people really doing this kind of stuff. Do I still use Audio Finder? Yeah, absolutely. I'm like mad on Audio Finder. This is for anyone who's into like sample management. I really go to town on, like, you know, these are all my playlists on the left, and just for like my drum breaks, I have all the kind of custom breaks that I've made, more custom breaks here. I have like all the most popular drum breaks, all in like a list, all like good quality samples. So I've spent so much time collating things, and yeah, I can't actually use any more than the 10 samples I had for this project. But I need to do another video really about just like sample managing in general, because there's so much in there to help your workflow. Anyway, back to Renoise. What I'm going to do is this filter. This digital filter has these modes, and it's called a Chev. I can't even pronounce that word, so I'm not going to try. But what it does, it has these like resonances you can pull in, and we can go. Yeah, I am a librarian, honestly. Like in lockdown, I spent my life just organising that library. So now I don't know if I'd still have the energy to do it. Frequency. No, I want to go digital filter and cut off. And I want to turn down the frequency load, so it's like a low, slow moving, slow amp, and then it's going to kind of pull in. It's kind of whistling, so I don't want it to whistle. slower. Just want it to move. Okay, so let's just do some simple little things. Effects, one. Hello, 7 AM from the west coast of the US of A. Welcome to the stream, Josh. We're making some jungle here, or we're getting to it. I'm already an hour in, and I've got an hour and a half to go to kind of pull something together. But we've got some ideas happening, so it's not gone bad. I got through the break chopping stage. So putting in a crash, with my crashes in jungle, I find like a big crash like this. It's so long. So I don't really want to use the whole crash, so I kind of might do like a manual fade here. Just with the notes, you can just put them like this. So you can just like time something, just putting the volume in there. And then another thing I like to do is to do like a dotted delay. So like a dotted eighth note sounds cool. Welcome to the jungle. And it wants some reverb probably on that sound as well. It just sounds more jungly to me to have that like the kind of delayed crashing. And it just works a little bit better, I think. That sounds cool. And one thing I might do is actually use this crash in another way as well. So I've got it delaying there. Let's just put this crash, and then I might come and actually just go and reverse it at the end of like this passage. Play the crash with the reverse thing at the end of the pattern. And I need to time this reverse to come maybe like S80. No, maybe like... Yeah, nearly. Just needs to be timed better. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we need to go, and I could go to bass now, but I'm going to leave bass. But I am going to bring in this this bass waveform, and I know that I can find something sine-like in here. If I put snap on. Just want, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to get a cycle, just one clean cycle. Okay, there we go. And normalize it. Okay, nice. And then I can probably, is it okay in stereo? I don't know if it matters too much. We might just make it mono. So I have a clean sine, and I just need to find the pitch of it. So to do this, let's go and go. So I've got to put on a forwards loop is what I've got to do. Let's pitch that up 24. Okay, so that's going to be super loud. I can actually just turn my volume off for this is what I do. Sorry for anyone wearing headphones there. And I come to span and I play like a high note, and then you can really see it's playing like a G sharp 7 when I want to play a C. So I need to go from G sharp 1, 2, 3, 4 semitones up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now even if I play a lower one, it should be easier to see. And I just need to get this tight. So that's playing a B 39. So I can still go one more semitone. And now I'm like around a C, but I'm too high, and I need to fine tune it down. So otherwise, I just think you can never. I'm getting closer. Fine tune maybe like that. So I'm just trying to turn this bass noise into like a playable. It's 7 semitones high, so I think that's pretty close now. Yeah, okay, we're kind of on the money. It's going to be like a slightly off, but it means that I can now play like melodies with this sine, which is going to sound really terrible when it's just a sine, but I'm going to make it sound good. So realm always, I can actually just do like sends because I've got all these sends set up. So send it to the delay, keep source, send it to the reverb long. Okay, that had some weird delay sounds happening there. So it's really like clipping my, it's such a piercing noise this. Maybe I can like add a little bit of distortion. Oh yeah, I've turned my audio way down. Cool, so now I have created like a little cool sine thing. I can play some little melodies hopefully to go over the top of this thing. Still a little bit mad. I want it to like actually have a bit of like an envelope maybe. Like ring out a little bit maybe. Still like mad. One other thing I've got to do is maybe just because I'm playing melodies I can put it on a mute group. Sound a bit better. My piano playing is always terrible, but I can like figure out little ideas and little things can kind of come out of what I'm doing, even though I'm not very good actual player and I know very limited music theory. I think I'm just trying to. I want to make it a slightly nicer tone. It's hard because all of this stuff's coming post. So if I actually put a filter in here. Something really simple like that might be a good place to start, and I can just program this in. That's cool, just that, and just like this. I just want it to be repeating though, and it's got a really long release, too long. Yeah, I love. I'm my favorite thing at the moment is like sine pads. I'm really into them, and like just taking a sine wave and not adding too many harmonics. Like here, I'm using distortion to make it more like a saw-y sound or like a square, but in a triangle. But when you keep a sine quite pure, okay, it's getting there. This sound. It's taking a bit of work, but I think we've got something. Oh. Whoa. Oh, that was cool. Starting with that note. Let's go da da da. Maybe like this. Oh yeah, that's the one. Okay, cool. That sounds great now. A bit of level, so it's going, and then I need like a slightly different variation of this idea here, and I don't know if I just be like really lazy and try and pitch it down by 5 or 7. No, up an octave. So it's going, before it was going F sharp, F C. That's not bad there. Let's put that on. Cool. So what I might also do with this sound, now I have this sine that's I can use, is duplicate this again. And actually duplicate the sound, and then I went and did the distortion in here, but if I come and do it in actually the modulation section, come and put a filter in. Okay, And I want the track to still have everything on, yeah. And then this one I want to be more like sustained sound, but I want the filter to come up over time. But I have to drive it to bring out harmonics, and I can play it lower. More. That's kind of cool up there as well. I don't know if I just mute these while I get this on. Oh, that was going to be really good. Put this on. It's almost like this one doesn't want the delay as much. Okay, that's something like that, isn't it? Ooh. I think this is because it goes to a different note in the... It actually goes out of key a bit, the pads. Something like that, maybe. Okay. Oh, I got that wrong. Oh, that's so wrong there, but I'm going to get it right. Maybe there. It's just so I can hear this pad as well, what's happening in this bit, and I can time it. I've got to put on auto seek. So I'm just trying to get some things happening here. Yeah, the full video is going to be up. I'm recording this on... I think I'm recording this. No, I didn't record it on my Zoom. Damn. Okay, we're gonna have to start recording now. Hopefully, it'll get saved on actual YouTube. So I'll have to. I think it does actually. When you live stream, you can just upload the finished version. So I will try and get it up after the session. Really. So that's not quite right, but it's gonna be right. Yeah. That's not right, is it? Whoa. It's not perfect, this noise, but I like this one more, maybe. So let's go with this idea. Maybe get a bass going. So now we have an 808 bass. The 808 bass I've got, I probably need to like just distort it a bit. I kind of really like Filter Freak for this. Like Filter Freak 1 or 2. If it loads, yeah. And driving. Well, that's a bit mad. So with my bass, I quite like to obviously hit it with some saturation and then going and putting an ADSR on and putting it on a mute group. And so you can use, this way you can use like the release of the bass. But when you play a new note, it cuts off the previous one. So you get this like natural thing, which sometimes you don't have with when you program bass, just using like decay is the other way you would do it and not having the release off. But I quite like having it with the release on. So and let's just check this. This 808 bass is actually in C as well. It's something that's you've got to kind of do. Otherwise, span's actually a bit better for this. And just pitch it up. See, it's in G sharp 4, so it's so far away from where I want to be. But 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the problem with these basses. Is sometimes you get one and you think you're in the right note and you're just like miles away. C minus 40, so let's go up this time. Cool, bang on, C, let's get it. So now we have a bit of a bass, we can go in, and that's really saturated. So you can kind of like just drive these in Filter Freak. If anyone doesn't have this, this is actually on Dirt, but the clean one is really good for getting your, just bringing out, you can really fine tune saturation. It just has a really good like tone to it, the saturation in here. See, those ones are a bit jarring. Maybe I can move these ones down. That's not bad. Okay, cool. Well, that was kind of cool. Look. Oh, let's get it. Hold on. Oh, not that last bit. It's just an idea for the bass. Bass is something that's really difficult to like know what to do. Maybe that last one can do. That's really handy. There's a tool on the Renoise ones which tunes the sample to C. I need to go and get that. I will remind myself after this session, because that saves me all of that kind of tedious stuff with the bass. This bit's, maybe this one still wants to go. Maybe let's try a different bass idea in here, just so I can like, I think that's okay. Maybe just like super simple. So I want this bass to like be ringing out a little bit more, but I don't have it doesn't have any more length in the bass, so you can kind of come and try. I could try and do a forwards loop, but sometimes it sounds a bit weird. But it is sometimes the best thing to do is like just come and get one of these ones right at the beginning. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's not bad. And I want this to be so this is not right here. It wants to go to something different, so it's going like maybe that A sharp to like not to D to F sharp. This is more interesting, but I really want it to snap dead. Oh, that's why. So I'm just like, bass is tricky. Everyone struggles with bass, and like I'm just the same as everyone else. It's always hard to find like the right thing, but just testing ideas out is usually the best way to go about it, and then picking the best one, maybe like joining two ideas together. It just wants to be like simple, maybe the whole way through. Like that. Let's try that. And then I can go to this, up to this A sharp, G sharp up to. Maybe this can go to the F as well. Want some aliasing on the bass. Yeah, I mean, I can get it to like, well, once I get this tune right, then I can really play. And what's great about Renoise is you always have this like A-B thing right here. So if I'm going to like fine tune this bass sound, I can just right click A and then start coming in. Maybe if I do, see it's sounding, thing is it gets a bit like crazy. Does it want to go like one more note here as well, like G, maybe that. So let's try a kind of cool, dun dun, and then maybe I can play that one. So nearly there, the bass. So I need some, let's get this vocal coming, because I think it might really start coming to life with this. Like that. It's got bass in it, but I think it'll be cool. So let's get this vocal. I'm gonna have to come, maybe just like take, let's just create a new track. I kind of want some of these send effects on them, but anyway. Vox, vocals are always in pink, everyone knows that. Vocals, send effects, or maybe I'll just put an effect right on it. Let's just put a reverb dead on the vocal and a delay dead on the vocal. Just so I have more control, and then I've got to get this vocal in the key of my track. Let's have a little look. Mixed in key. I mean, you can do this all by ear, but I just find it easier sometimes to E minor. Perfect. So I've only got to go up or down actually one semitone to get to E flat minor. Ooh. Is that going to work? Let's hope so. Firstly, let's get rid of this bit of crap here. I almost just want the... Oh, this is nice as well. I don't know about that end bit, but let's create a new sample and chop that in. Just want like that shit, you know? I don't really care about the rest of it. And maybe I could loop this ping pong. Okay, cool. So with the track. And let's just then control it with this, like a decay, just decay it. And so like this stuff's going to come later. So for just an idea about arranging, I know I've got all that melody stuff, but that wouldn't come really. I just hit the pads. Maybe we can do like an envelope on the pitch. These sometimes go really weird, but they can work well if you like set it to maybe 2 semitones. So you try and stay in your song key and let the vocal sustain, and then you bring it down to the new note. It's got a bit more life, maybe going up. That's kind of cool, and then back down maybe. I'm trying to make a sing. Whoa, not like that. Maybe up 1. Up 7. I know. Come on, you're trying to blaze up, need to smoke and make jungle. I actually used to smoke and now I don't smoke at all. It's been like one of those things in life that you kind of go in and out of, but sounding super weird there. Let's just leave it. Also, I could try and play like fifths. It just sounds so weird, this vocal, like pitched around. It's also got all that bass in, and that might be why it's sounding a little bit jarring to me, and I'm trying to keep working on it. Yeah, that's a bit better. Let's just have it sat in there. This bass just wants to copy like down, doesn't it? Okay, so let's get maybe this the dolphin samples. 20 people watching, still going. I think I've used the pads. I've got that in my intro, so I've only got. Oh, this is dope. This piano arp can definitely come in. And I feel like I could chop it maybe and get it to work. Maybe work with this. Let's go. Oh, that's such a cool sample. Is it in? Let's try and push it down. I think this is in E flat major, maybe E flat minor. It's not really in my key. It starts E major, and then this bit maybe I can just use that bit. Straight in. Cool. Not in there. Not in there. Maybe somewhere else. Oh, I'm getting loads of clashing things happening here. Why is this all clashing? This could be really cool in a breakdown. So maybe I just start to try and like, let's do this. This is a good idea. So I'm just trying to build out like some idea just so I can get something going for this, and like the breakdown. And I almost want to like play these notes, don't I? Somewhere there. And like maybe have them play through each other. That's not a bad idea actually there. Something like this. Is it going to follow my sequence? Let's do that and chop that out. Take that off. So there's something in there like that. Okay, let's try it. It's a little bit lame, but might have some legs. Maybe with the filter off. Does that want to be like more like bang on there? It doesn't quite hit right with the rhythm. That's wrong there. That's come on. Oh yeah, that could be cool with like a reversing. It's too much happening, too repetitive, the sequence. It needs to go something a little bit cooler, but I think it's an idea we could definitely work on. Maybe because it wants like you could cut the space out. Yeah, you want it to like kind of, maybe actually a delay would be cool, and then I could like actually fill in the gaps a little bit more with this thing. Let's just not like get rid of that, but we can try. And then putting like an ADSR on it as well, just so it has a bit of like release on these sounds. What I kind of want as well is because I can like play this thing, if I go destructively render slices, I want to like duplicate all of these. Can I just paste them? Ah, that didn't work. And then like paste these samples over the top. I'm gonna have to do it like this. Okay. 2, 3. Oh, I don't need that first one, do I? 4, 5. Oh, I got that one wrong, didn't I? Okay, there. What I'm doing is, I think with these ones, I can pitch them up 7 semitones, and then I can hopefully get a whole bunch more chops if I just hit this drum kit thing. And I know that this one is like the full sample, which I probably don't need then. I've got 2 full samples by the looks of it, so let's get rid of that. So I've unlocked like, and maybe I can get rid of that one. And maybe I can also come. It was cool. Maybe it'd be called -7 as well. Wow, it's hard to remember. Yeah, okay. G3, G sharp 3, A3, A sharp 3. I think that's the last one, isn't it? And then drum kit. Whoa, okay. And then these ones I can pitch down 7, or I could pitch them up 12. I don't know which one's going to work best. Will this video be available? Yeah, I really hope. I've just hit record about halfway through, but I'm hoping Renoise, YouTube just records them anyway. I'm pretty sure your live streams get automatically recorded like into a folder in your account. So at least the like last half from about half an hour ago will be recorded. But I've got to try and get this tune out now. I also want to layer this break, which I haven't done at all. Like layer my amens. I know this isn't going to work, but I really would hope that it would just. It's actually not bad, but I can come back to that. That was going to be another idea. One other thing I want to do is make this think. I was going to make it really snappy. I could actually just go and process it differently in this section and put on a transient shaper. Where are you? Here we go. Put in the sustain. And then hopefully, oh yeah, on this instrument, on this one. Okay, and then let's go back to wherever we were for my piano sounds. I can't even remember what I was on. It's one of these ones, not this. This new track, maybe? Yes, let's call it piano. Hello everyone. So at the moment I've got a couple of ideas going. I've got this like dungeons RP intro. This needs to be louder. Which I don't really know what I'm doing with that. I've got this jungle bit. Where we've got like a little bit of a rolling groove happening. Sounding nice, that sine wave. Yeah, so I've got some cool ideas happening. Let me just see if I can get something good with this piano in this bit. So I'm just testing these samples to try and find the kind of best things in them. And I've chopped this piano up. Pitched it around. So I might be able to like jam out with my chops now and get something really cool. This is what I'm hoping for here. Maybe put that follow on. That's kind of cool. It's quite hard to hear what's happening. It's so like blurred, but I like that little first sequence. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Let's go with that. I bet when I get some drums happening. There's some little errors I can hear in like just my playing. Yeah, that's interesting, is that? That's the pattern in this one here. I think that's the good one. So let's just get that repeating. Yeah, the piano is sounding cool, and I think I want to just have it modulating. Let's just go analog filter and the LFO and go cut off, analog filter, cut off, low amp. Nice. So this piano is cool. I think the piano would actually sound super dope with this Amen as well. If I can actually do some break layering now, which is what. So I'm gonna have to just actually come in. Is it easier if I just match my Amen to a think? Probably. So let's go and actually just do some programming of this. Chop that down. I'm going to duplicate this thing and then Amen to, and then think to. And let's drag that over. Okay. And so back to programming, but I'm just going to copy the pattern that's in the think with my Amen. So I've got to delete this pattern and go to this. So what's happening? It needs to go back to like another shuffle. So maybe if I go back. Yeah, that's getting close. Oh, it's saving. I've got to get a longer shuffle, haven't I? Maybe I can come... that nearly worked. Okay, so we can kind of do this pattern now, and we can probably create the... is this what's happening? Bang. Oh, that's the snare there. Don't mind that. Why is the name Renoise versus Ableton? Do you because we basically, he makes 90s style jungle tunes in Ableton, I make them in Renoise, and we exchange samples. I picked 10 samples for him, he picked 10 for me, and then we're kind of going head for head, both our live streams at the same time, and then we're going to have a chat after for about half an hour, just seeing how we got on. But I've just been talking this whole time, so I haven't done quite as much producing as I thought I was going to do. I can hear one thing that's really annoying me about this is my amen, the snare's not right. So I think what I've got to do is copy the actual instrument of the amen and then swap all of these notes to the new one, and then I can not affect my amen from before, but I can actually it's in here where it's slow. Maybe actually a better thing would be to be tighter with this thing. That sounds better. Because I need it to go back. See, it does get a little bit mad in this. I want to go back to, what would it be? It would be the first snare. So I need to go to like maybe 50 or something. Okay, cool. So I'm like jumping. If you look at this, I'm jumping to this snare, but I need to come back and make the shuffle, like time it up again. So every time I do this thing, but the reason I've done this is so I can get the snares of both the amen and think to sound tight together. And then it's still sounding a little bit off, but now I can be... It's still hard to get it right, isn't it? That's pretty close. That was cool. With this piano. Sounding cool. Let's go and do this rest of this thing. And then yeah, see, it needs, I need to have this snare timed in this way, like this. Okay, like here. See how it just sounds tight now, whereas before it sounds shit. Now it sounds tight. Yeah, another one there. Cool. Maybe do that, and then I can just, hopefully it's going to be fairly similar. I've got to do some of this shit, haven't I? I don't know if I just copied my pattern down. I've got to make sure some of these are going to be tight. It's a little bit tedious doing this stuff, but I think like if you don't do it, then you're never going to get things to sound as good. Oh shit, is he like really ripping it? Well, to be fair, it's my first live stream, so give me a grace period, and then we can like that, isn't it? That's how it's going. I'm just trying to follow the actual rhythm of the piano. Whatever the piano's doing, I'm just trying to copy that in my bass. 2 up. Yeah, okay, cool. That's going to be off by a note, maybe. Am I okay for comments, Kristen? Yeah, absolutely. Fire it in. This is like it's all about collaboration, this whole thing. And then it's going up 7, isn't it? So you reckon I can just be really sneaky? Maybe I can try that. It's not better with that. Okay, cool. Not quite right, this bass. Not quite right. I don't know if I'm like banging in this idea when I should be doing this as like a breakdown and then trying to get back to... Can I bring this in to this? Okay. Yeah, it's just that pattern was repeating. I think you're right. It got repetitive and like... So we're in like, I've got 2 different tunes happening here, which sometimes happens when you're, even though I'm in the same key, they're so different, but I do quite like the piano. So I need to find a way to kind of make things work together. But I do like this like pattern. I wonder if I can bring some of those little dolphin noises in this bit here. There's a good sample of that. Why? What the hell's going on here? Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I'm glad people have been enjoying it. I've been trying to like kind of teach as much. Maybe it's because I'm just in the habit of always talking when I've got the camera on as if I'm doing a tutorial. I've been trying to do kind of tell people what I've been actually doing. I think this is quite a cool sample of like a dolphin note, just with reverb. Everything just needs really healthy doses of reverb in this jungle, just to make it work. It doesn't want to be that long, but it's actually not bad if it just fades down. Okay. Oh, I could maybe get that vocal, speech vocal coming in. It sounds like the Predator. Yeah, it sounds interesting. I think I've found a way to bring it all together. I can probably get away with chucking this in this little... But the bass needs to be something like wilder. I really want to... I feel like I want like some distorted bass thing happening, or like the bass needs to fill up the space more. Maybe I can keep the piano like a really stabby version of the piano can come through and like come into this bit. So I've got all these conflicting ideas, which... These are really conflicting. It's like I've got 2 different keys going on maybe with this piano. the dolphins. Damn, struggling with this piano. I don't know if like which idea to really follow, but I did like what was happening here. I'll tell you one thing I do if I just fall back on some of the things I do all the time is I've got this sine which I was making, but I can duplicate this out again, and I can take this pattern out one more time of the sine, and I can actually come and actually just doing like a sine with a slightly fading envelope is really cool. Kind of like maybe like that, but maybe have it go normal. Sounds crazy, but when you play it like high, whoa, sorry for your ears. That's mad. It's so loud, isn't it? Really crank through the. There you go, and then it's like that's like when it comes back up again. Sounds like a like an Artemis sample or something. I want to go da-da-da to here, and then I want to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe. Yeah. It doesn't have like a nice release, this sound. It's also everything's getting like. Do I have any master bus compression or something? No, not really. I feel like I'm hitting something. It's just sounding not quite like realistic, that sound yet. This one here, it needs to be maybe layered. Maybe a chorus could just like bring it to life a little bit more. There's this towel chorus is really dope. When you're discussing the difference in 10 minutes, it will be 2.5 hours, so from 2 to 4:30, so in about 40 minutes. Oh, I liked it going up as well there. I don't want it to like really hit this note. That sounds better. Maybe it was just because it was on different lines. It was like not triggering it properly, which is weird, but that sounds better now. Bit of mixing. That's going to come later, that one. It needs a fucking off note as well, otherwise you just have whistling all day long. Yeah, I find like when I make tunes like this, one thing I've done is I pulled everything down. I have this mix balancer, so like just pulling all of the faders down to get them to like just to give you a bit of headroom, and then you can just like put your drums up by a dB or two once everything comes in the mix, and you suddenly get like a way better balance. It's almost always the drums start getting swallowed up by everything else. It needs like a call and response. And then like, I don't know if I want to make this a little bit different. So this is going C sharp. Oh, that's kind of cool, isn't it? With going to that F. But I added all those notes in by mistake. Ah, okay. Something like that. That was cooler. Okay, getting it. Yeah, the whistling signs. I hope I haven't hurt. It's just not sounding quite realistic, which was like I'd love to have a Rhodes to layer with them or something. So I had these ideas, but I still think this is probably the best one here. And if I just take out the drums and maybe start with like this vocal. get the pads going. Pads are sounding nice. Let's do a little drum roll. There's been some things I really wanted to include in this that I haven't really got round to either, but this is one of them. Let's try that, and let's go from 0 to 70 and then ping it in. Crazy that sound, isn't it? Why is it sounding so shit? It just needs a bit of like, it needs something. It's like the notes are kind of fine, but the actual movement of the sound, or the sounds better like back in the mix a bit. Let's do some, because it's just getting a bit repetitive. I need to get this break going. Yeah, let's get some snares. Yeah, I just want some double hits really. And then I have that, if I go and find that snare with the reverb on it, where was it? So one of these hits is going to be a reverb snare, I'm sure of it. I just need to find it. I can probably just scan one of these. Yeah, that one, okay. Okay, so we're going to come in and do some whipping. Does the filter envelope do anything? Do you have to bake the distortion into the sample first? Yeah, I'm not sure in what sense you mean. The filter envelope will not do anything. Yeah, because I think with that sign, I think because I distorted that sign. If I go back to that idea, it's in here, isn't it? I'm getting confused where it is. This one, this sign, I think I'm distorting it actually in the filter with the drive. So I'm adding the harmonics in the filter, and therefore it's the distortion is baked in. But you're right, because this stuff all comes before the signal path here. Let's get back to that. Okay, cool. Back to the snare. Let's go. Amen. I want to play it here. Oh yeah, let's do some pitch snares. Well, that's too high. Maybe like yeah, like them. Oh yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, it just wants to be, it wants to go back to like a normal kick or something here, doesn't it? Cool, that's not bad. Or like, yeah, will the video be available after? Yeah, it absolutely will be. Or maybe it just wants like this little. Let's go double kick. I know I want. I want to put this reverb snare in again. and then have a, oh, the cool thing to do to like break up a sequence is actually to come hit like a reverb snare and then actually remove the start point of the next bar. And then have this little gap where I have a reverb snare. Oh, that was cool. It doesn't want this note. Oh, let's go forwards and backwards maybe. Let's just solo this. That's going to be cool, I think. Oh, and also I want to do with this Amen, I haven't used the crashes yet, like at the end of it, which you kind of forget sometimes. It has these really great crashes. Nice, that's sounding a bit better. Just keep the breaks interesting. Ah, that one wants to be like there. Oh, that's cool. This wants to go a little bit longer. Just trying to not make these signs sound quite so lame. So I think this is going to be a good little... Well, that was sounding alright, wasn't it? Let's play this for a little sequence. Appreciate that, Micro Room. Love Renoise, man. Love getting people into the program. Oh, so that we have this good little passage going now. I needed to develop it, and this roll is a little bit mad, isn't it? So this is kind of what we got working. I got that vocal. I have this vocal. I know I took these other ones. Maybe I can use this vocal bit here. Why didn't that play? Oh yeah. Whoa. It's so mental sometimes programming in Renoise. I think that might be in the wrong key. B minor would work if I keep it. It's so many. It's like one of those vocals you have to play with no music over it, really. So maybe we can go to like a new passage, get rid of the music, and do some like cool break working effects. We've got half an hour to go. Encrypt, welcome to the session. 31 watching. Let's go. I've got to do. That was a bit cooler, wasn't it? So, and I did this stuff with the Think and the Amen. I don't know if this would be cool here. I quite like the way this break's rolling. Nah, not that. Oh, dun dun dun. Let's go like that. Yeah, once you get going, like with an idea. Oh, saving. Oh no. I don't know if I've even saved this project. Jesus Christ. That would have been a bit of a disaster if we'd lost that there. Okay, let's go down to... oh yeah, cool. And space. And I don't know, I've been doing a lot of reverse noises, but I want to do... Maybe I'll go find this long kick. Yeah? Yeah, cool. Oh, maybe a really long kick and move this down... with a little roll, like bringing me back in. That's kind of cool, isn't it? and it probably wants to whip back this kick. What I could also do with this kick is actually put it on a separate note layer, and so it wouldn't get chopped off. Oh, that could be cool, like this maybe. Whoa, and off. It almost wants like the reverse snare, even though I'm playing the kick out. I think I want to play the snare in reverse to get me back. Oh, that's cool. A, D, 8, 7. Yeah, sure. I've used a few plugins in here, but I'll happily make the session available for people. Cool, so I'm just doing some variations there. Let's get rid of that and get everything going. So we've got this. I need to do something crazy with the bass, I think, is just to make this bit. I also have that sample of the this sample can come in here. The bass is doing all right. Speech. We've got a pretty good amen happening, but not much really apart from that. I want to make, like, some of the stuff I do to make some effects would be really cool. I'll tell you one thing we could do, considering we're just trying to make this amen sound badass. At the end of this bit, I have this snare, and I could take this snare, and I have this thing I made ages ago called my time stretch effects, and so I can just chuck this in here, and then I can create these like granular stretches. That's not sounding great, but if I come and I can create like a snare roll, which is a bit like an Acai's, or you can go really high. But that was sounding cool, like a weird Acai's thing. And if I go to like, I really want this to play and re-trigger properly. That's not working, is it? Let's go back to this one. Oh, and I can try and time it. Oh, that was kind of cool. The piano idea didn't really work, but this could be the intro anyway. Okay, so here we are, 25 mins. What am I going to add? I haven't really got much more in here. I can tell you what I could do. I can take smash it again. Too early. Yeah, dolphins. True. Not that one. About the dolphins. I got one of the dolphin effects maybe came in. Was it this I put it in? This is the crash. Where did I go with the dolphins? I felt like I was using it, and then maybe I just got so many things going on. I haven't really stuck to my ideas. Let's go get another dolphin noise from that dolphin. Yeah, I think that's sign you would like. If I was going to try and take this song further, I would definitely be elaborating on that rhythm, on those little melodic things. Maybe that's okay. like a strange animal, like bird laughing or something, isn't it? A bit like a kookaburra. I'll tell you what you can do with these noises though, is if you put a forwards loop on and you go to pitch, sometimes you can create some weird things when you jack up the pitch. It's got to always have reverb and almost always delay on as well. On the instrument, let's go with this. Okay, eighth note might be right. So I've got this weird laughing noise, but I wonder if I can turn it into something cool with pitch modulation. So start. This sometimes gets really wild. I'm going too far. Maybe if I just go like 36. That's kind of cool going down. That is some interesting noises going on there. Oh, hit the bottom of the ocean with that one. So let's play. Make sure it actually turns off as well, the sequence. It wasn't quite what I thought I was going to get out of it, but it's interesting nonetheless. But with this instrument, because I've set up all that stuff, I do this a lot with actually just like snares, or even just kind of anything you can chuck in these. Forwards loop and that's cool, and I don't really want it to like ever. Nice. So now that's almost like the dolphin noise that I wanted. That I had to make it from a snare drum instead. Here, dolphin noise. Cool. Turn it up. I want to go like, and just, it's cool that it like slows down as it gets further. It's a bit lame that, but okay, so we need to create like a little kind of bridge section. Maybe where the pad, like, I don't know how I get from that to that. Yeah, like cut that. Maybe chop it like this and do a little roll. Oh, we're running out of time, I tell you. Oh, I should be using that snare with the frickin' thing on it. 1, 2. Yes. Maybe I can go. Maybe this one noise, nah, but maybe the actual. Right, so let's create a little variation of that effects noise as well. maybe, what can I take? I could take a crash. I could try and put the crash in there and see if that's going to give me something else. Forwards, loop. And what you can do is like play with this. I want to go like different. It's going too high maybe. That's kind of cool. Just trying to create weird like effects. Try pitching this around. That's cool. So this bass, I think I need like a resampled version of it, which is just super aggressive. And I have been using thanks Ben. I'm doing my best to kind of conjure something up here. Honestly, I take like 24 hours minimum to get through a track, so even doing something in this short span is quite mad for me, but I'm having fun anyway. So I created this thing the other day where I just like smashed a sine bass smash, and I've been using this plugin called Cold Fire by Arturia, which is quite mean for doing like kind of mental bass shit. Like that is sounding absolutely brutal already. So maybe I just do like a switch up in it. Oh, that's so crazy there. How many hours do I spend writing one track? Fucking loads. I mean, like sometimes, probably on average about 24 hours, sometimes a lot more. Often I have ideas that I then kind of like scrap the first half of. I'll do like 10 hours and then take like the best bit of that and turn it into something else. So I really have to like, sometimes I really have to grind out tracks. Obviously sometimes it comes easier to you, but with my productions I'm really not scared to just like keep throwing paint at the wall till something sticks. And you can see in my process today, like I just test out little ideas, and I could have probably fleshed these out into being something more, but I was like struggling to produce them. Like I just could, nothing was coming to me. And this pad idea started to work a little bit more. Now I found my way to this like even cooler section with this new bass. Oh, I want that to like wobble up, you know. They have a preset for a Reese. I need to go through and check out Cold Fire more, but it's just having like a double distortion like this with all of these options is basically all you need for distortion. I think I want to do like a pitch movement on this bass. Let's copy this down, and then I select this all and like reroute it to that track now. And then I want it to just do some crazy shit. I could actually put glides on as another really cool. You can either do your pitch here, or if I do like G4, I might be able to do something like that. I'm hearing that's too slow, isn't it? I wanted to do G4. Whoa, it's so mental, this bass. But that's sounding still. I almost want to start with that low note. It's really like wobbling. So I've got all these macros. Oh, well, okay, let's get rid of this bass. I just need like another hour and then I would come up with a really good idea. I'm like right on the brink of one. That's going on too long, but it's sounding pretty wild there, that bass. I'm going like E. Maybe I can just go to B, like. And then like it needs a different bass noise here. Probably like, I'll actually just go to duplicate this bass and then play that first note. I turn that off. And then in this section, I just want to play this E maybe and do, I don't know what I would do. Watching from South Africa. Hello, beautiful Caraman. I always appreciate your comments, mate. Honestly, I notice you always say the nicest things to me. So thank you for all your kind words, and welcome to the stream. But yeah, the cold fire here. Let's just do a preset saturation in this one. And then maybe this one, let's do my pitch idea of actually doing like a pitch movement with the wobbling bass. Low to high, maybe. Low to high. Yeah, but it wants to be like smashed, doesn't it? Doing the signals on the double screen. I'm also like filtering it afterwards, which I can. Well, that sounded pretty naughty to me. So let's have a little listen. It doesn't want to like, it sounds absolutely mental. But it's because I didn't copy this instrument over, but actually it's given me a good idea for what I can do is turn this one off and then just make this one go to this. Whoa, okay, so this one, number 9, let's go with that. Duplicate this down, and then I don't know if I just go straight into this like crazy shit here. Oh, 10 minutes. Had an idea at the end. Wish I'd had it close to the beginning. It just wants to be flat, this note, doesn't it? It doesn't want to be doing that pitch movement. And whoa! These bass notes, they're overlapping still. Oh, it's because they're coming from different instruments. Shit, how do I get around that? I almost have to like cut this sound. Maybe I can cut it with the C0B command. Yeah, okay. So I was getting like overlapping bass notes. Quite like these two notes, because like when you play a sine wave with two notes together, you get some quite cool movement, which is making me think I could get maybe a cool thing out of that. So this is like one more idea. Okay, let's duplicate this thing again, and I don't want the pitch on this one. I've got to take mute group off. I've also probably got to take some of this shit off. And then play. Trying to get like, I think it's because it's on this thing, it's going to not work with this. Maybe on this track it'll work. Whoa, that's mental, innit? But if we go down. Well, that's not bad. Just trying to find, it was better on this track, wasn't it? Sorry. Whoa, that's the note. Okay, so what? I just want to fucking record that shit. Ah! Okay, let's get this, and then I can play this. Yo. Resample bass, and then I need to go and create a new one for my resample bass without any effects on, otherwise I'm going to be like doubling up. And then for something, so let's just listen and see where we're going to put it in. But the idea is now with this, Maybe this one wants like a glide on it as well. G40. That's going to sound really cool, I think. Oh yeah, let's put these little cut notes in. So I'm playing instruments from 2 different groups, so if there's, even though there's mute groups on it, it doesn't really... This is where it wants to come in, doesn't it? It wants to go. Don't know if it's going to work in key, but... Oh. Whoa. Sorry about that. That's just getting bass. So the note's not quite right. It's because I was looking to get the wobbles. They're going to get the wobbles in it to get this right. Oh, it just doesn't want to loop like that. It's annoying. I don't know what quite note this wants to be. So nearly good idea. Oh, it sounds absolutely crazy when they overlap. This is just definitely like an ear screecher. It's gone from 90s jungle to like hardcore. So let's have a little playthrough. I think the amens is like, obviously I got the amens to sound pretty good in here. Just rolling, which was my main aim of the tutorial. Yeah, the breaks sounded cool. Didn't need that bit there, did it? What we need is a breakdown section like here where there's none of this stuff happening, and we like start to kind of maybe tease this or like tease this bass. Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Tease the bass with like a filtered version of it, so it's not going to hit hard. Maybe even like a reverbed filtered version. Reverse snares are the fucking shit, especially in Renoise because you can time them up. And like, let's just distort the hell out of that again, just with native distortion. That's sounding cool. I just want to like create some drama here. Ooh, bit too much dead silence. Oh, I've got to go get that other bass noise. Okay. Nah, like maybe just in the same thing. What does this do? Okay. Whoa, and then I need to get that back. These can mute. I can take this bass. Coming up with the last idea here. Oh, it does. It just wants to go like flat bass, doesn't it? Here, this one. Whoa, what was that note I just played? Whoa. That is mental. Must have come in this kick from way earlier. Okay, look, we got to go like full speed. Yeah, it just started sounding a bit crazy, didn't it? And then that's where we got to go full amen from like 6 to... Yeah, I was like, I think I just spent next time I did this, I'd probably just go in like really hard on the tune and not kind of talk so much through it and teach. And oh, it's getting close, isn't it? Yeah, just these ones I've got to play. Okay, nearly there. I almost want to start with like a big kick, just a single kick layer. Yeah, like rather than... And then like having this big drama. Okay, and then let's take that off. It's sounding cool here. Whoa, that bass is not right. That's a cool little thing. I think I need to copy these patterns down the same. I really need to make some like little variations to this bass as well. Actually, what I could just do is this. Oh, I'm actually out of time as well. Okay, so hold on. He might still be going, so we'll give it a second. I want to go like kick, 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 kick. I want to go that last. I almost want to like, I don't know. Yeah, I'll definitely do like a just a longer, more chill production stream and try and really get through like a whole tune. Maybe do like 4 or 5 hours, because it's just tricky. And like, I think I spent the first half an hour talking, then you make a track for 2 hours, but actually 2 hours isn't that long. So maybe even if I have some ideas like already started, and then I don't know, sometimes it's good to see people make something from nothing. So I think that was kind of the whole point of this stream. It's just a test run really to see if people enjoy it. So thank you for sticking with me so far. Yeah, it doesn't want to be a double kick there, does it? I want to take that. Where was that like reverb? There we go. Maybe this one. Oh yeah, that's cool. Kick snare. Let's find the snare here. Bum bum ba bum ba bum. That's what I'm hearing. I don't want to do this reverb thing. I keep repeating that thing, so let's just copy this. It wants to be here. That. Oh yeah, that's cool. This wants to go down to. Maybe a little whip there. Okay, that's cool. Let's try that. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad we got something going. get a bit bored of the bass. Like I want to do more like different versions of this this bass sound with just like different instances of even if I just like flick through a preset here. He hasn't hit me up on WhatsApp yet, but my phone, I'm using my phone to record the keyboard. So let's just try and like whoa. See that you can like layer on top of the same instance if you have it like a sub bass version of this, or maybe even like a clean version of this sound. Okay, if I got I'm gonna have to turn, what I have to do is actually duplicate it because it won't let me play two at the same time, and then select the track, move them all to this new note, and now I have this like sub bass. But it might sound really cool with this. And then I can do a little drum roll. So close, isn't it? That is like another idea. Like a filthy little white noise. Whoa. Okay, so let's do like, we're getting close to the end of this. I could do maybe just a little bit of master bus stuff. Just to make it sound a little bit. It's cool, I've got you like on my audio interface so I can turn you down the volume you're receiving down, so I don't have to like smash everyone's ears when I do this stuff. And let's just do like a little pro cue in this as well. I just want to go, I think I could even like load a setting. There's got to be like a mastering setting, yeah, TB mastering. I think I just copied one of his things, but so is it getting smashed too hard? I don't need to like and then we're kind of there, right? So let's have a little playthrough of the whole lot. Thank you for everyone who stuck with me through this stream. We managed to get something going in the end. It wanted to be a 90s roller, and then I ended up going a little bit hardcore with some of the drop sections. But sometimes you just find your way into like interesting sounds, and you can't really control where you go with the track sometimes. So hope this has been useful for everyone. Let's get this amen going. Don't forget to hydrate. Yeah, man, I went on a quick run actually before this just to get me inspired for my afternoon. See, this is the bit I kind of like. I should have really just pushed through with this idea a little bit more, but I just got a bit angry with the whole thing. And we went in this direction. Before that crash there. Almost want that wobble, that pitch movement to be different. Sick. That's basically it. Rock and roll. So I'm going to jump on a Zoom now with Alex. So let me go and actually load this. I've got to load up my emails. You're going to see behind the scenes here. Hopefully nothing's come through. Okay, let's get that out of there. Oh yeah, let's join. Let's join the Zoom. Open. Signing me in. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Give me 1 second and I'll be back. Can I just load my... Okay, we're back. Let's go and join the Zoom. Join. Yes. Okay, accept.
Yeah. Hello, mate. Can you hear me? Sorry, 1 sec. I'm just going to need to... You try again. Why can't I hear you? What about now? Okay. I can't hear you.
It was my mic. Yeah, okay, I'm in.
Ah.
There we go. I was like, something went wrong. It's just my USB cable in my mic.
How you doing?
Good, actually. How was your session?
Yeah, good. That was good fun.
It was really fun. Yeah, I was so slow at starting and getting going. I had about maybe an hour left and I finally kind of got into my groove a little bit, but I was just like, it's hard to kind of hit the ground running. I think when you're like chopping breaks and just in the early stages, sometimes just getting an idea going is very difficult.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was like keen to like I started chopping stuff and was didn't want to like spend too long doing that. Was like really keen to get an arrangement down because I thought that was kind of the thing I had to do, because you know all the sounds are kind of there and I just needed to get bits of them and stuff. So, but actually it was quite a good amount of time really. I think I kind of got I had the arrangement done after like about an hour, probably about an hour, and then the rest of it was kind of tidying up and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to sort out. like an audio output for us. Okay, this
So what? So you can run your DAW through Zoom.
yeah.
I think it should work.
I think the main thing is that we like kind of have a debrief. As long as we can get that working. It's so complicated doing all this shit.
Yeah, there's always just this like when you're on Zooms, like piping stuff through. I also find when you finish a Zoom call, when you go to like leave there's always like a 5 second delay where you want to be out, but you can't find the leave button, so you're just like hanging around in the Zoom call.
I can hear you fine. I just can't seem to pick you up in OBS. It's okay 'cause I've got my whole screen on and we're not on live or anything.
I'm still on my you're still on your live stream.
Yeah, I mean we could go on. Do you think it would work easy on yours?
I'm on mine now. It seems to be fine. Maybe because I'm piping my audio from my mixer to my interface, it means I can like run it easier.
That sounds good. Should we just try it on yours then?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Sound. All right. I'm just gonna tell everyone. Good samples in there.
Yeah, I like your samples as well. Actually, I kind of got. I didn't know what to do with the ARP sound, and I really like the piano sound, but I couldn't. It was kind of clashing with my other ideas, so I ended up taking the. I used the pads obviously, and then I kind of took that sine bass and I turned that into a few little melodic things, and then in the end I just went and completely flipped it and got quite aggressive with the whole thing. So it turned on its head in like the last 20 minutes, but I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Like mine was very spacey, so.
Well, that's the vibe, isn't it? So maybe you can start. If I can let you. Oh, can I let you share screen? Oh, you're the host, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop streaming and I'll stop recording. Cool. I'm just gonna close OBS and try and work out how to do this. Are we live now?
Yeah, we're still live on my thing.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So hey, I think we're okay.
Yeah. Let me just get it over. See if I can figure out how to do it. Because I've got like two screens here. Where's Zoom? Okay. If I make you the host, I think I can do that, can't I? Make host.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm host. Now I can go. Yeah. So now you should be able to share.
Okay. Let's give it a go. All right. Share. Can you see that?
I can see. Yeah.
Yeah. Sick. Okay. So maybe if I'm just gonna pull this over to. This still working? That's all right? Yeah.
I can also let me get rid of my I don't need my thing anymore, do I? Cool.
How's that?
Yeah, it's good. It's looking good.
Good. All right. I'm just gonna share sound. See if I can make this work. Stereo sound, as we know.
Stereo sound is in.
Let's just check. I need to set up audio out. You can snip this, George, and this is how you do your audio settings for a Zoom call. Make a short video from this. Okay. Can you hear that?
No. Yes, I can. We're in. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. So shall I just shall I talk through what I did or how I went about it first?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go through it.
Yeah, so I didn't really I stayed true to what you said and didn't listen to the sounds properly until I was recording. And like some of the longer ones I was like, oh god, these are quite like jazzy, and I wasn't quite sure what I might do with them. But so I pulled them all in just like a samples thing, and just was kind of listening through them. I started with the pad because it's easy to get an atmosphere going with that, just like, and I literally chopped that in a sampler, in an Ableton sampler, and just kind of played some freeform stuff over it and did like, just an octave and a fifth. And so it all kind of worked nicely, even though it was an A minor seventh. I think I tried to tune it to, I was trying to go for F, but in the end I was like, A minor's fine. So just stuck in the key of the sample. Then it was just, at the same time, I think I started up by chopping a think break, and I went for like the think 3. So I went for God, was that deafening?
Yeah, if you turn it down a bit, because I think I've had to turn you up quite loud for your mic to sound good. So if you turn your like master output maybe down a little bit.
Yeah. Good idea. Okay, so how's that?
Maybe -8 dB.
-8.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, cool. So yeah, just like I started with that with that think break, number 3, and I like that one because it's got the clean snare in it. The this kind of part, and I chopped that in 2 ways. I did it just in like what you might be more accustomed to seeing, which is like in a sampler, just like this. And I just had it on repitch mode and just started doing some chops with that for just get a vibe going, the think, and then you've got a kind of like rhythmic framework with the pad and everything. And was enjoying that. Was like, right, I want to do some like Sully-esque kind of carpless strong stuff. So I also did a more intricate chop where I went hit by hit.
Nice.
Yeah, but I did a separate version of that because I wanted to use this for fills, and I put like some auto filtering and a carpless strong, just a very short delay over high feedback, fully wet, and literally it's like the tiniest snippet of the break. With reverb and effects on, I kind of added those later, and this auto filter that was doing some swishy kind of stereo action. And slowly started to build up the breaks like that, and then got some stuff going with this archipelago.
It was that was like the RP marimba thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's well nice. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So I just kind of found a loop of it. It was like pitched it up, added some auto pan and kept it dry.
It's quite nice, like sparkly, shimmery leads just sitting there.
Yeah. Like I was like, because at first I was like, that's one thing when you don't know these like longer form samples, and you don't know, like, this is the first time you're hearing them, you're kind of not sure where to start with it. So I was a bit like felt a bit overwhelmed actually, but like as I was going through it, I was like, oh, it's quite rhythmic. I can find a loop from this. It's like 4/4 or close to that, so I can loop it. Then I just pulled the thank you for the Rhodes. The Rhodes are super useful, So I did that kind of thing.
That's exactly what I would have done with it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he's good because I've seen you use the Rhodes before just for like these little twinkles and stuff like that. Then I think it was a bass, and I just used your test tone, for short envelope. Just did an 808 with it, bit of pitch envelope.
Yeah.
And I recorded various takes of me just playing in bass lines on the keyboard. And so I kind of started to build up all these clips, and added things like this. The stat. This was from, I can't remember which. The Alan Hawkshaw Mystique Voyage?
It sounds a little bit like the Circles sample to me, that.
This one?
Yeah.
Like Andy C? Or
like Adam F?
Oh, Adam F, sorry. Yeah, I was getting confused. Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, is that where it's come from? Or
it might be. It's very close, isn't it?
Yeah. That's check.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
that
that's
one,
the
isn't
one.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
that tune. Yeah, I've heard that at some late night session. It's good. Um, so I just took a tiny fraction of that, and I used follow actions, which are something in Ableton, to just automatically have it triggering at playing again after 16 bars. So I could just play the clip and it would just trigger every 16 bars, and it can be quite good because you can just trigger it any time you want. So I might be I did the whole thing as a live jam on the APC, just like that. And so if you trigger them slightly off measure or off of the grid, you can get some really interesting stuff happening that you wouldn't have necessarily um, thought of doing if you just drawn it out. And I think that, and then use the female vox just going through the sends only with loads of effects. So they just come in. You'll hear it now. It's like here. You'll get the idea. It's coming in. Had various sends with different delays, different times, and a lot of stuff is going to Echo Boy's Galaxy, which is like one of my favorite.
I can hear it's got a super high
presets.
feedback time, hasn't it? Yeah, you can see.
Yeah. Have you used this one?
I actually don't. I have Sound Toys. I love their plugins, but I don't use Echo Boy as much as I should.
Yeah, it's like literally just this preset because it's not tempo locked, but it's almost like a diffusion, if you know what I mean. It's almost like such a short rhythm or delay time, but like quite a high feedback. So it's almost like a supermassive type sound.
Yeah.
And then I just laid the whole thing, like then I kind of got it ready to record in, like, so I had the kind of breaks and the bass in a similar place, and then recorded it with the APC. But I also do a lot of stuff fiddling with the mouse and just playing things with the mouse as well. So I kind of almost like use the two together, and I might just like push record automation on sends just in one long form take. So I can play it now if
let's hear it. Let's roll.
Yeah, let's hear it. Okay. Here we go. Quite a long intro.
Fits the style though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
The drum programming in the middle of that was fucking insane.
Yeah, thank you. That was where the kind of second hour was spent.
Yeah, it's so detailed. It just takes ages, like bit by bit, to go through it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the drums were 10 out of 10 there, mate. Getting two breaks to play off each other like that's really tricky as well. So you've done such a good job, and you fleshed out like a really good arrangement. I didn't get nearly as far through my arrangement as you did. So, mate, that was top softy there. That was great.
Oh, thanks very much. No, like, well, they were really, there was a good selection of sounds to work with, and I'm sure you're the same. I've started tracks so many times with the Think and the Amen that you just kind of, there's always I just feel well practiced with it, so you start hearing things you want to do, and you kind of over time you get quicker at doing all like the edits and stuff like that, like here, you can just see where I've kind of doubled the MIDI up at points, or made literally just gone onto the grid and just doubled stuff up. Because I find you only need a bit of variation at certain points. You spoke to this in your getting out the 16-bar loop hell. You kind of only need subtle bits of variation to really make it sound like a big change has happened. So thank you though. No, it was really really good fun to do them. So to use the samples. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it was wicked.
Yeah.
I agree. It's all about like with the more I learn about breaks, it's that balance between variation and repetition is like so important. And I think it's so easy to just start like just going crazy with your drums, and like you just lose the kind of core rhythm or the core structure of them too easily. So doing complex drum programming and retaining that is kind of where the key to it all is, isn't it? I think that's what Photech and Source Direct, all these people did so well.
Yeah.
And
Like,
you actually done it in this track, so sorry.
Yeah. No. It's sort of like I completely agree. It's almost like I almost think of it like it's almost like a conversation. You know, like you're having like you're explaining something and delivering a point home, and it's almost there's almost like a poetry to it. That sounds quite, like but there is, it's like there's the ebb and flow of the break and the break patterns, like especially every 8 bars. You want there to be, it's like a good melody, like where it's maybe varied and restated before some kind of ultimate statement at the end of it, like a phrase, a musical phrase. And I think drums are exactly the same. Yeah. So
amazing, man.
Wicked fun, man. Wicked fun.
It was a good one. Like, we're definitely gonna have to do another one in the future. People are saying on the chat.
Yeah.
Someone said Venetian snares over here with these drum samples, so they're obviously loving your drums. And
sick. Thank
Ned
you.
Rush is in the group. Someone
Ned.
said next head to head Dark Shadows sample pack, so something more going on a different vibe entirely could be interesting actually.
Yeah, because this is like playing to my strengths, like something that's a bit darker and like moody and more like sparse. I feel like that would be more of a stretch for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I don't know. It's from what I've seen of your stuff that you feel more at home bridging those two styles. So yeah, no, I'll be well up for that.
It's interesting. I mean, it's so I always end up doing some weird like bass resampling technique, and then it's like 2 hours are gone before I've even like got an idea down at all. So it's actually just maybe putting you in the time frame is a good thing to like force you to kind of pick your best ideas and run with them. I think that's what I kind of did in my one eventually.
Yeah. That's all. Like it's like as soon as you got something, I think it's good to just kind of go with it. Like because otherwise you can spend so long second guessing yourself and waiting to find a better idea. But often it's just go, like as soon as you got something, just go with it, throw it down, and get working with that, because it's easier to edit a track than it is to get it to arrange something. Just which is why I love recording the jams. Really, that's kind of how I get past that.
Yeah, which is what Ableton's so good for. I mean, like Renoise, if anyone saw me doing it in Renoise today, like recording live takes and all that kind of stuff is so messy and hard to do in Renoise, and you can't really live perform in the way you can in Ableton. So I think that's where Ableton's strengths really lie. All that stuff. It's so quick and easy to do all of that.
Absolutely, yeah. And this is kind of what I mentioned when I was doing it. So yeah, like I'd be intrigued. I'm intrigued to hear yours. So
all right, well, should we dive in? Let's swap it around.
Yeah. No. I think can you stop? Do I stop screen share?
Yeah, there we go. If I start screen share sound. Can you see me here in Renoise?
I can see. Yeah.
Okay, so let's try and put.
It's like the Matrix.
It is the Matrix.
Yeah.
I did. Okay, so these should go out here. Okay, can you hear? Yeah, it's quite loud. For me.
You got that? Yeah, you did.
I didn't use it. I wanted to use it, but I ended up kind of giving it up. If I turn down my actual master. I thought about it, but it just didn't really like these. So I had a couple of these ideas in the beginning that I never ended up fleshing out, and obviously this was the ARP thing I just kind of left here. I just programmed like a really basic think. And there's all these different techniques I kind of went through. Renoise people will get me, but you can either like pitch up your breaks to get them to warp to your tempo, or you can use this thing, I call it gate to tempo, but you can kind of slice them and then warp them up. So if anyone wants to see those techniques, I went through them in this video, but with my think break I kind of did the gate to tempo technique, and then with my amen I did the other one. So I had this was the cool piano sample you gave me.
Yeah. Nice.
Which is really cool. And actually I did quite a cool technique with this. I didn't end up using it either, but I basically took the original slices, and then I copy those slices in a sample instrument, and then I pitched them all up 7 semitones, so like a fifth above, with the same chops. And then I went down 7 as well. So I was like finding, just trying to create more chops from like one sample. When you only have a certain number of slices to use, you can suddenly make lots more by using fifths. And I could have done octaves as well there. So I had a cool idea here as well.
Nice.
Which could have turned into like a Calibre-esque song maybe.
Yeah.
I think I would have needed to do some more variations of that piano sample just to make the like 16-bar loop roll. So I kind of messed around with them for a long time, but eventually I gave up on all of that, and I kind of came back and stuck to my guns a little bit, and basically did kind of like a very similar pad actually to yours, where I'm just using like fifths and roots. I think mainly it looks like I've gone from an F to a C to a G, so I'm kind of doing fifths and fourths and roots there. But one thing I did actually do, I think I layered these two pads together, just directly layered them and then like tune them to each other, just so I had a thicker sound to begin with. I probably should have gone and done some like more modulation to each of the pads, but I've lost you.
Oh, hang on, it's okay. I think it's because my camera goes off. 1 sec.
Oh, okay. Oh, there we go.
It's annoying. I don't know how to fix that. Sorry.
Is it just got like an auto?
Yeah, I thought I've turned it off. I've turned off all the auto business, and it still just still seems to go off. So
there's always weird problems you end up dealing with like that. So yeah, I'll go. Give you a little demo, and then I can come back.
Woo! Yes. Oh, this is sick. These edits are so good. Wicked, this is sick, man.
that's kind of it there. It just like rolls in. So I
I
had the beginnings of some ideas that I just needed like some more time to really dig in and flesh out. I feel like it gets a bit repetitive and boring. Like I needed some more effects like these cool little kind of things I made here, which is something I do. I think I did this with like
nice.
it's a snare.
Is that what even is that?
It's an amen
Right.
snare with like a
Okay.
forwards loop on it, and then I've put a pitch, and I've modulated the pitch,
Yeah, yeah.
and you can like play with the pitch range. And if I
That
can
is
find that
that is
sound again, it's
wicked,
because it's
yeah.
moving around. Here we go. So you just like play around with this, and you can create loads of cool sounds just from like bare bone stuff. And then I did the same with the with like a crash here, which ended up sounding pretty cool. So I would have gone and made loads more effects like that if I'd had the chance. And also with this bass, I mean, I could have gone anywhere with this pattern, but there were just some ideas. Like the one before I go into the drums is maybe the other cool thing I did was just take the bass sample. So this was just like an 808 bass. An 808 bass you gave me.
Yeah.
Standard 808 bass, but I just took like a little chop of it and I ended up turning that into like a sine wave and then using that to make these little
They're lovely, yeah.
so because in Renoise it's so cool, you can like just chop. I can just select like a one cycle and go to a new track and then paste it in, and then kind of that is maybe if I mono it as well, I can just turn that into like a nice clean sine wave, and it's not super clean because you can see it's got like
Yeah, like samples, tiny,
like sample rate reduction or whatever it would be, or like but it's you can kind of extract anything. So once you have a sine wave, you can create loads of different things. But I was just playing with like little ideas there. I had another kind of sine wavy noise. So they're like nearly there, these sounds. I just needed to design them a little bit more, maybe layer them to get them to sound a little bit better. So there was lots of like good things in here, but probably the drum breaks were the thing I spent the most time doing.
They sound amazing. Like I love the reverse thing you had going on. I occasionally do that. You can do that in Ableton Light, but I'm keen to see how you did that because that sounded sick.
Yeah, some of those reverses that I
So
definitely
cool.
listening back to the whole thing now, you can hear where it loses that rhythm we were talking about. Like it lost that at a couple of moments. I could hear where it just gets too confusing and like too offbeat. So you have to come back in and like really refine all that stuff. But it does just take a lot of time to do, and it's like lots of trial and error. But this is probably the thing that makes Renoise such a crazy DAW. I want to find maybe a really good one of these to show you.
Sure, yeah.
Like in here, so I'm doing one thing I did is I took a kick drum or a snare drum even. But this is a kick with a long reverb tail, and I also made a snare with a long reverb tail by just taking the original one and putting it through a big mono reverb. And it means I can then like play if I just play this, and so I'm playing like a kick going forwards, and then this lane is like a mono lane, so any new notes are going to cut the previous one off.
Yeah.
So you play like a long kick, and then this snare is going to like hit the reverse, and I'm like I can make it reverse, and then I can detail where I want the reverse to happen. So I'm looking at this ruler and I'm making it happen like right here, but I could say make it happen like halfway down, but I kind of come in and fine tune it as I'm listening. So you can be really precise. It's kind of like slip editing almost with your drums. And so I'm making it go backwards, and then it's hitting this command, and then it's going forwards again. So it goes kind of backwards, forwards, and then it hits a new snare. And I probably should have put like an off note there. So you can do really cool effects like that. And that's why I create these slightly longer kicks as well, because you can use like a long kick here to create this like space in the drums. And
I love that.
And it doesn't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
cut to digital silence because you're having like this whole new thing started. It needed a bit of space in there, so I kind of slowed it down by making these long kicks and snares. So I spent a lot of time there. And the other one I did, which I heard you do as well, actually, is the really classic like pitching the snare up and down, which always sounds really cool. I don't know where I've done it, but
I love that. You've good use of that. That bit.
that bit's cool because of that crash effect that comes in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like listening to for this track to make it more interesting, you've got to do lots of effects like that. Really, just throw loads of them in. So every time the ear is getting a little bit bored of this repeating pattern, it has like a cool effect to jump onto. So I was kind of happy with the ideas I had, but I didn't actually even get to programming a think break or doing any break swapping or anything like that. So I kind of just stuck here. And that was really all of it. That was the most thing I did. I think I was like chatting and chopping breaks for about 2 hours, and then the rest of it kind of came together.
Yeah, I tried like I kind of checked in every now and again with the chat, but you get like it wasn't I expect yours might have been busier, but I was able to kind of focus on the work a little bit. But I think that sounds like listening to that. It's like I think you could definitely do the stuff you've shown, like that reverse thing's really cool. It would be a bit. You just have to think about it differently, but like, yeah, I don't know. There's some really cool features that are just readily more apparent in Renoise than they are in Ableton.
Yeah, because what I'm doing essentially, if you're thinking in Ableton sense, is I'm like swapping instruments into like a MIDI, like one MIDI region. I'm just flipping an instrument in that MIDI region, and then it's still like doing all the mono chopping off, and all these things are happening. So it works a little bit differently. It's all possible in other DAWs, but Renoise makes you think about these things a little bit, lean towards them, like lean into these cool tricks and things like that.
Yeah. It's like the kind of like we spoke about, the user experience is different, and both each of them kind of have their different ways in, or that encourage you to kind of approach your track in a different way. And yeah, I think it sounds really good though. I'm glad you got the Hadouken in, because I was like, I don't know how he's going to get that in. He'll probably use it for a drop if he's going to.
Yeah, I had to kind of go with that. I think that sample kind of took me in that direction, and this vocal, because the vocal, I managed to chop the vocal to work with the like rolling bit here, and then actually I just had to create like I extracted like from the full sample. I just took this part out. And then did like a nice forward backwards loop with also doing like a decay over the time of it, so it comes down in volume, just makes it sound a little bit more natural, I guess.
Yeah, it does sound really good. Yeah.
But then the rest of that vocal sample goes. It sounds really cool, but it's like it's quite haunting, and it's also it's not really in a good key to like. It's kind of in one of those weird like scales. So I was like, how do I get this? So both that sample and the Hadouken sample kind of led me in this new direction, really.
I think it sounds sick. Yeah.
No, I thought the same about yours. I think we actually went in quite different directions, but they're interesting how you kind of end up with the samples you have, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, like, I had the idea that it would have been quite fun to like chuck a bonus sample in that we had to use with what we've got, like in the last 45 minutes or something. That could have been quite interesting. But I think one of the things that like what you demonstrated with the sine wave is like you really can kind of make anything with very basic timbres. You know, if you've got a sine wave and you've got like some breaks and stuff, you can kind of do so much with just those sounds alone.
Yeah, for sure. Like no, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like exactly on that point, I was taking a sine wave and like distorting it to turn it more to like a saw or a square. And you can even see in Renoise it has this like spectrum analyzer, so I
like that
as you're like processing something. I can kind of even probably show you if I can get to this this sine, so you can see all the added harmonics that I've got in this thing. But if I take off the distortion, You can see them start to like go down a bit. I've probably got some distortion somewhere else in the chain as well.
Nice.
Or that might even be what it was originally, like a slightly less clean sine. That might have been just from the. So you can literally see as you add, you can see them all come up the harmonics, which is so cool.
Yeah. I do like that. I do like that feature. I like the way it looks, and like I did use it for a bit, and but it just felt like another kind of. It felt like it would have been a step backwards to kind of learn another DAW when I knew one quite well already, and could probably try and do a lot of the things. But I don't know. There's a thing about there was some little edits in there and stuff which just like sounded so cool, and like the really fast trill like snare rolls you did and stuff at bits, and yeah, some really great programming.
Yeah, thank you very much, mate. It has a slightly different sound to it, I think, to Ableton and Logic as well.
Definitely does, and it's difficult to put your finger on it. I don't know, it's just it's I'd struggle to articulate it. Actually, it just sounds more like a tracker.
It does. It's a bit rougher around the edges, if it's anything.
Yeah. That's a good thing. Yeah. But no, that was a lot of fun, and we should do a dark side thing next time or something.
Yeah. I think dark side would be wicked, and I think actually using the same samples would be quite fun if we had the same starting point. Maybe we can make like a sample pool together, and then both use the same samples. Could be interesting.
Yeah. I'd love that. Yeah, sounds great.
So that'd be wicked. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in and for sticking with the stream.
Thank you everyone.
And we will be back with the next one, maybe monthly or in the
Woo! Yeah,
whenever we can find time to do it.
I'll be up for that. No, thanks, George. Thanks for doing this with me and for making it work so quickly.
No, pleasure, Alex. It was really fun, mate. I'm looking forward to the next one.
All right. Cheers. Shall we stay on the call and end the stream?
Yes. Okay. Let's do it. Hold on. I've got to figure out. Right. I was at that moment. I was like, how do I actually end my stream? Oh, I reckon I can just stop it.
If you stop streaming in OBS and
yeah, that'd be perfect. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Cheers, guys.